Hey everyone, this is Raven. I'm here with my recommend review of Snowpiercer season number 3, episode number 5, which is titled A New Life. And I think that this season is going to have 10 episodes. So we are at the halfway mark. 5 more episodes left, and it was an okay episode. It was quite intense, and I was actually worried about Layton and Zara's baby. I thought that there were going to be complications. I actually expected Zara to die during the birthing process, but it didn't happen. Everyone's okay, everyone's safe. But yeah, Layton has a whole lot of issues that he still needs to take care of. So the episode opened up with Zara basically writing this letter, this note to her daughter, talking about how what it took to get her to this point and what it took to give birth to her and all of the hardships that Zara had to go through. And Zara's like, you know what? I don't regret any of my decisions, and I would go through all of those hardships, all of that brutality, just to ensure that you're born again. And then she also talks about Layton, how Layton, your father, is someone who's trying to change what's left of the world and all of that stuff. And while we do see Zara writing that particular letter, we also see scenes of Zara basically fearing for her life, fearing for her daughter's life as she is in labor. And yeah, it's bad because while that's happening, we see that there's some sort of explosion and Layton falls unconscious, and yeah, it's bad. So we come to the present timeline, and it turns out that the scenes we saw in the beginning of the episode, those happened like 12 hour that will happen. Yeah, those scenes will happen 12 hours later. So we go 12 hours back and we see that everyone is very happy. They basically, all of them have baby fever, and everyone is trying to participate in their own way in order to celebrate Zara and Layton's baby. And there's this tradition from third class where everyone goes and they end up putting up the names of different cities and whatnot in order to name a new baby. And that's how Winnipeg got her name, Winnipeg. And also, while I was watching this episode, where is Miles? Where is Miles? Is Miles dead? Has he been written out? I would like an explanation, because it's like everyone is ignoring Miles. Miles was supposed to become some sort of an engineer, and Ben isn't mentoring him. And Miles was basically Josie's and Layton's adoptive son. They haven't mentioned him either. They haven't mentioned him either, and it just feels weird. So everyone is putting up their names, and Layton and Zara are like, you know what? We still have time when it comes to selecting what name we're going to give our upcoming daughter. So we cut to Alex and Joseph. So yeah, Joseph is still alive after Roche attacked him, but he's basically in a weird state. He's still unconscious. He is able to murmur, and I think that he is able to listen to some of the conversations that's happening around him. And Alex is basically sitting by his side, and I think she tries to read him a book, but before she can begin, she hears that Audrey is trying to come and meet Joseph. And Dr. Pelton, of course, doesn't allow her to come in. And Alex is like, you know what, Audrey, you can't be here. You need to go. And Audrey is like, no, I need to see Joseph. He needs me. And Alex is like, Audrey, he doesn't need you. Trust me. So we cut to Josie and Mrs. Hedwood, and Mrs. Hedwood is running her tests on Josie. So basically, it turns out that due to all of those genetic manipulations that gene therapy that Josie went through, her right leg has gone numb, and she feels that the rest of her body is going numb as well. It's basically a side effect, and Josie is worried. Because she doesn't want her entire body to go numb. And Dr. Hedwood is like, you know what, Mr. Hedwood predicted this, but it's not something that you need to be too worried about. But yeah, Josie is worried. I'm worried too. So we cut to the market, and Zara and Layton are just sitting around having a fun time talking about the baby. Till walks in, and as these three are talking, this is where Zara's water breaks, and yeah, it's time. It's time for the baby to come, and yeah, Till is like, you know what, I'll escort you guys to Dr. Hedwood, and yeah, they're here. Winnipeg is there as well, and Layton is like, Till, can you take Winnipeg away? And Till is like, yeah, I'll do that. And she's like, you know what, good luck, break a leg. And this is where Zara is like, Layton, you need to breathe. It's okay. We can do this. I'm all right. And yeah, let's do this. And I'm like, yep, complications are going to come. So Tristan and Root are there, and yeah, Tristan is very happy that Root has come back into her previous position as the head of hospitality, and they're like, you know what? What are we supposed to do? How are we going to manage Zara's upcoming baby, the birth of her child? And Root is like, hey, don't worry, we have baby birthing protocols here, and we can follow them. But then Root is like, maybe we shouldn't follow them. We can kind of play loose, and we can kind of change how things are run on Snowpiercer. So Tristan is like, okay, I think we can chill a bit, so let's do that. So Root ends up using the microphone, and she ends up announcing that Zara is in labor and that baby bells will be rung every hour. Then we cut to Alex, Joseph, and Dr. Pelton, and yeah, Andre wants Dr. Pelton to come over to Mrs. Hedwood's clinic, and so Dr. Pelton has to go, and before she goes, she tells Alex to perhaps read something to Joseph in order to mentally stimulate him, and Alex is like, okay, I think I can do that. And as she's reading, we get these flashbacks featuring Joseph's and Alex's relationship and everything that they have gone through. And yeah, I think that Joseph has started to remember. So yeah, things aren't necessarily going well for Zara. It's obvious that she'll need more time in labor, and Andre is trying to be supportive to her. But Zara, I think that Zara thinks that Andre is being annoying, and she's like, Andre, I can walk, I can breathe myself. Just please let me do this. So we cut to the marketplace, and it's time for them to light up the tree. And when the tree has been lit, it ends up catching fire. And yeah, there's a burning tree inside Snowpiercer, and everyone runs away. It's bad. And of course, Layton gets to know about it and tells us, like, Layton, there's nothing for you to worry about. I'm here. I'm handling this. You stay with Zara, and if I need you, I'll call you. So Dr. Pelton walks in, and yeah, of course, Mrs. Hedwood is like, what the heck is she doing here? And Layton is like, well, I don't trust you, so Dr. Pelton will be assisting you during my bad. Yeah, he's like, Dr. Pelton will be assisting you during Zara's pregnancy because I have to go. I have things to check. And he's like, I also need you to tell Dr. Pelton about what you did to our baby and the condition of the baby and all of that stuff. And before Layton walks away, this is where Dr. Pelton tells Layton that, you know what, heads up, Joseph is waking up. So we cut to Ben, and in order to help Harvey, Ben is noticing that Harvey isn't doing well. So in order to help Harvey, he ends up asking Sykes for help because he's like, Sykes, you know Joseph, so maybe you'll be able to help him, keep him on task, keep him focused, and all of that stuff. And Sykes is like, I'll see what I can do. So basically, Ben doesn't want Harvey in the engine anymore. However, he still wants Harvey to be around and keep on working. And this is where he tells Harvey that Sykes will be his partner, and both of them will be handling the agriculture part of saving humanity when they go to New Eden and all of that stuff. And yeah, Harvey doesn't appreciate it because Harvey is like, okay, Ben, so you don't trust me, right? It's because of how I've been acting and all of that stuff. And Ben is like, you know what, Harvey, truth be told, that's exactly it, but there's no one else that I trust more than you to handle the agriculture sector. So please, try and make this work. So we cut to Pike, and Pike decides to go and talk to Root, and he's like, "Oh, so you have gone back to your previous position, suit and all." And Root is like, yeah, I'm back. However, if I do have to share something, she's like, I'm not really feeling it as I used to feel it before. And Pike is like, okay, so there's still hope of you possibly deciding to become the leader of Snowpiercer, right? And me by your side and all of that stuff. And Root is like, Pike, that's not me. Layton is running things, and I don't think that I can replace him and all of that stuff. I really like this interaction between these two because Pike wants Root to do what he wants, and Root is like, you know what, I don't want to ruffle no feathers. And yeah, Root not accepting Pike's offer. Pike is like, okay, you've made your decision, Root, and now I guess I have to do what I have to do. So Ben goes into one of the engineer rooms in order to... Why am I coughing right now? It's not that. It's not the C word. C-O-V. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to mention it on YouTube. But yeah, it's not that. It's just that I've been feeling weird. Anyway, Ben goes into the engineer rooms and in order to change his shirt, and he notices Josie there, and he's like, "Okay, Josie, are you okay?" And Josie is like, "Well, I couldn't sleep. It's I think that I feel more at peace when I can hear the hum of the engine. So yeah, I'm just laying down." And of course, Josie is really going through, especially because of her parts of her body going numb, and Andre and Zara having a baby and all of that stuff, and Ben is like, "You know what, Josie, I'm down an engineer, so why don't you get out of this rack and I'll teach you some stuff." And Josie is very excited to learn some things, and she's like, "Okay, let's do that." So we got to Dr. Pelton, Mrs. Hedward, and Zara, and both of them are talking about Zara's condition. And Dr. Pelton is like, "You know what? You are rolling the dice with human evolution. You played around with the baby's genetics. Why would you do that?" And all of that stuff. And Zara is like, "Dr. Pelton, it was my choice. It wasn't Dr. Hedward's fault. And you both need to work together in order to ensure that the baby is okay." So we cut to Till and Layton, and Till is like, "You know what, Layton? I did work on a previous case involving a firebug, and yeah, it looks like that the tree caught fire because someone made it catch fire and all of that stuff by messing with the wiring." And Layton is like, "Do you think that it's a sign? It's a warning? Does all of this have to do is related to me?" And Till is like, "I don't think so, because not everything revolves around you, Layton." But yeah, they're like, "You know what? But we still we should still check because they can smell ethanol and all of that stuff." So they end up going and talking to LJ and Oz, and yeah, LJ and Oz are like, you aren't going to treat us like suspects, okay? We keep an eye on our ethanol production and all of that stuff." And LJ ends up teasing Till, and at first, and I was like, "You know what, Till? You can hit her. You can hit her." Even Layton was like, "You should have hit LJ." But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if these two will continue to interact down the line. Anyway, Oz is like, "There's a speakeasy that you guys should check," and he ends up leading Till and Layton to the speakeasy. And yeah, Josie ends up handling some things on in the engine, on the control panel, and she's very happy about it. And even Ben's happy about it, and she ends up putting Snowpiercer on auto drive. And while they're bonding, this is where Josie is like, "I think I should share something with you. It could be way too personal, but I need to share this." She takes this protractor, I guess, and then she ends up stabbing it into her leg. And of course, Ben just looks at it horrified. And yeah, Josie is like, "Well, I'm telling you now that I can't feel anything. I am numb." So we cut to Zara, and Zara isn't doing well. Her temperature is dropping, and yeah, Dr. Pelton and Dr. Hedward are worried, but Dr. Hedward is also like, "You know what? Mr. Hedward predicted this, so we can handle this. We can handle this. Just give her some warm blankets." So Sykes ends up talking to Harvey because Harvey is having one of his episodes. While he's trying to take inventory with Sykes, he ends up remembering Jupiter, the barks of the dog, and all of that stuff. And Sykes decides to sit down with him. And this is where we get to learn that Sykes was tortured by Joseph as well. And while she was getting attacked by the dog, she realized that, "You know what, this isn't the dog's fault. This is only Joseph's fault." And basically, I think that these two are going to help each other heal, so I'm looking forward to that. So Oz takes them to the speakeasy, and Layton is like, "You know what, Oz? If you hear something, you will relay it to Till, right?" And yeah, Oz is like, "Okay, happy to help." So this is where they end up talking to the manager of the speakeasy, who's one of the guys from the Tailies. I think his name is C, if I remember correctly. And he's like, "Yeah, we make alcohol here and all of that stuff." And this is where Till notices that the bottles are way too cloudy. And yeah, C checks, and he's like, oh, this is water. This is water. Alcohol is missing. Alcohol is missing." And he storms off in order to, and he's quite angry, and he wants to know who ended up stealing the alcohol. And while he's away, this is where Bess and Till is like, "Yep, there's a person out there that has a whole lot of alcohol, and he might end up attacking you again or something." And yeah, this is where Till is like, "You know what? One attack is a coincidence. Two attacks are a campaign, and whoever is doing this." that particular person is trying to decrease the hope that people have in New Eden and all of that stuff, and we need to stop them. And Layton is like, okay, so is this person trying to break the people's hope in me or in New Eden? And Till is like, you know what? They're the same thing, Layton. They're the same thing. So Till decides to go and talk to Audrey, and yeah, Audrey isn't doing well, understandably, and this is where Audrey teases Till about wanting to hook up with each other, and Till is like, you're not my type. And yeah, this is where Till is like, you know what, Audrey, what the heck happened to you? You used to heal people, but you need to hit your rock bottom soon, so that you can start healing and recovering. And I expect more from you. I expected better from you. And again, you're a healer, you help people with their problems, and when we get to New Eden, people are going to need a healer. And she walks away. So this is where Ben and Josie end up connecting with each other, and they talk about their soulmates. Basically, Layton is Josie's soulmate, while Melanie is Ben's soulmate. And Ben is like, yeah, I've been in a single relationship with Melanie for 15 years. It was a friendship. It was passionate. It was intense, and all of that stuff. It was our own little island, and yeah, now she's gone, and I'm still stuck on the island, and all of that stuff. And Josie's like, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. And even Ben is like, yeah, I think that you can relate to me because you are Layton's soulmate, and Layton still loves you. And Josie is like, you know what? You might be right, but it still hurts. The baby thing, it hurts. It hurts. So we cut to Layton wanting to talk to Joseph, and yeah, this is where Layton is like, okay, Joseph, even though I want you to never wake up and basically die, I need you to tell me if there are certain arsonists in your loyalty group. So I need you to tell me who's doing all of this, who wants to hurt me. And yeah, this is where Joseph is like, you know what? Someone really hates you, Layton. Someone really hates you. So basically, Joseph is no help, and Layton walks away. And as he's walking, no, he doesn't walk away. I think he's about to walk away, but Root comes in, and this is where Root tells Layton about another fire in the agriculture car, and Layton needs to go there ASAP. And he tells Root to ask Till to come there as well. So, of course, Sykes and Harvey are worried about the fire in one of the nearby cars because they are in the seat compartment, the seed car, and if something happens to the seeds, then yeah, it's bad. It's bad for Snowpiercer. But before they can go away, this is where Harvey is like, this is ammonium nitrate, we are missing a few boxes, and Sykes is like, uh-oh. So it turns out that as Layton is trying to extinguish the little fire, it turns out that it's Pike who's behind all of this. And I'm like, why, Pike? Why? Why are you doing this? And yeah, he's basically trying to warn Layton, trying to scare him. Because, I mean, come on, if Pike wanted to kill Layton, there were better ways to kill him. So anyway, Pike notices Layton extinguish the fire. He's a few feet away, and he has the detonator in hand. And yeah, Till arrives, and Layton notices something, and he's like, run away from him. It sounds like a bomb, and yeah, it is a bomb, and Pike detonates it, but Layton and Bess are still okay. They got shaken up quite good, but they're okay. And I'm like, Pike, why are you doing this? Why? So Harvey and Sykes, they end up helping Layton, and Harvey tells Ben that, you know what, the fire has been contained, the seeds are okay, it's good. And Layton is like, you know what, I'm okay, I need to go to Zara, I need to go to my baby's mama. I need to be there. And yeah, Till is like, I'll take you. So yeah, Zara isn't doing well. Her temperature has dropped quite a bit. And Layton decides to support her. The baby is coming out. And yeah, Layton is there. And I'm like, okay, so is Zara going to die? Is the baby going to die? And yeah, even Zara apologizes to Layton for putting their baby through gene therapy. And basically, Zara, I think, wants to name their baby Leanna or something. But yeah, I was like, I really thought that the baby was going to die or Zara was going to die. So anyway, the baby is born. It's a healthy baby girl, and everyone is happy. Zara is doing well as well too. And this is where Audrey decides to pick up a guitar, and she ends up singing. And I think this is the first time we have seen her sing like this. After she ended up getting back into a relationship with Joseph, I'm not really sure. So she sings her heart out. Everyone is listening. Everyone is happy. Alex takes Joseph and she places him in front of the TV in order to stimulate his mind. So you can see that Joseph is coming back to his senses. And we see Ben and Josie hooking up. These two poor souls. Yeah, seeing these two hook up, it was sad. It was sad. These two are just trying to find comfort in each other. And yeah, the baby is healthy, and Zara is healthy as well. And Dr. Pelton is like, good work, everyone. Good work. So Pike is listening to Audrey's song, and of course, Pike is feeling a whole lot of emotions because he just literally planted a bomb in order to attack his friend. Like, even though Layton and him aren't friends anymore, they still have history. And I think that, yeah, guilt is eating at Pike, and he walks away. And this is where Zara notices an injury, and Layton is like, don't worry about it, Zara, don't worry about it. I'll tell you what happened later. Just let me enjoy this moment right now with you. And he's like, okay, so you want to call our daughter Liana. What does it mean? And Zara is like, she'll give her name meaning when she's old enough. And this is where Belton is like, okay, Till, what happened? And Till is like, well, someone almost got to Layton. And of course, that worries Dr. Belton as well. And the episode ends with Pike basically destroying the detonator because of all the guilt that he's feeling. And yeah, this is where the episode ends. I will be doing a written review this for the Geekieri. The link to my review will be down in the comment section below as soon as the review is published. It was an okay episode, as I said. It was okay, a bit intense, and I'm still not really sure what's up with Pike. Is he going to try and undermine Layton again, even though he felt guilty in this episode? I have no idea. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later. Bye.